So we get some news today on injury updates for the Chicago Blackhawks. And, well, it's something kind of expected with Connor Bedard. And we see potentially Nick Foligno might be coming back sometime this week. We'll see what that comes from, but here we go. Today, the Blackhawks had their first practice since losing to Detroit again, the other night and losing to St. Louis the other night. And, well, in the game against St. Louis, Connor Bedard received an injury. And from said injury, the Hawks had to wait until an update, and it came out this morning what's going to go on. Connor Bedard was placed on an IR today, so it's not as bad as it could have been, meaning he could have been placed on LTIR, but the Hawks are going to take it easy and make sure Bedard's okay because he's not going to be re-invalid until after the new year. And then we get other news. That Nick Foligno will be traveling with the Blackhawks on this Canadian road trip, meaning Fliggy's pretty close to his return from his, I would say, probably broken hand that he took a shot off of against the Toronto Maple Leafs last month. And now that he's probably getting close to a return, the Hawks will have their captain back on ice. But the main issue is what happens with Connor Bedard if he gets reevaluated and the Hawks have to shut him down longer term. I don't know. But the main thing is Connor Bedard on IR, not LTIR. So it was retroactive on to Saturday, and now he will be out until after the new year, probably. I hope Bedard's back soon because the Hawks are going to have to do every man up now. They have to produce without Connor Bedard. It's going to be tough because Bedard produces almost 50% of the Blackhawks scoring this season, which is a tough loss to the lineup. And now we wonder, does this affect Connor Bedard potentially making Team Canada? Probably, because the Team Canada selection committee will be announcing their roster just about right by New Year's. So we'll see what happens from there. There's a lot of questions for it then. Hopefully Bedard's okay. That's the main thing. Hopefully Bedard recovers quickly, comes back perfectly fine, and still produces at the click he was going with. But everyone needs to step up their game. Drive to the net. Go hard to the net. Start getting those greasy goals because you're without your star player for seemingly at least 2 weeks. So down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts are going into this little bursts of injury news. And also, there's a little bit more news that came out. A player got called up. Well, 2 players got called up, and one's getting placed on waivers later today to try and send him down to Rockford. Mastro and Brossoit, after playing 3 starts down in Rockford for his conditioning stint, was called up today, but that was for a conditioning stint. And now the Hawks are going to be placing him on waivers. And with that, that means he will be, if he's claimed, he goes somewhere else and never plays in a Blackhawk uniform. If he's not, he will end up heading back down to Rockford and playing with the Ice Hogs. And then another player called up was Ethan Del Mastro, who's been okay down in Rockford this year. He had a rough start this year in the preseason with the Blackhawks and the first game of the regular season. However, with them getting called up. It's more so an insurance plan policy for the Hawks to have an extra defenseman called up, with them running um 12-6 in the last couple of games. Now that they have a player like Ethan Del Mastro, they could go revert back to their 11-7 format, but we'll see what happens from there. I think the Hawks did this call up for Del Mastro as an insurance policy. If an injury occurs on this road trip, they have an extra defenseman for this road trip. And then Laurent Brossoit, if he's claimed off waivers, he heads to somewhere else. If he's not claimed off waivers, he just heads down to Rockford and gets some more starts in, because he hasn't played in the NHL in almost 2 years. So we'll see what happens from there. So down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts are on the injury updates and the call up to and potential waivers of Laurent Brossoit. And thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, let's go Hawks.